Hello everybody, my name of course is Resonant and welcome back to another video. I uploaded a video of the What If 300 Looters video. Now that is a series where I go on Mount & Blade Warband and I get massive armies of different troops and see how well they do it against the armies of Calradia. And there's a comment left by a man named David that said, "Hey Resonant, there's this new game coming out that could be probably the biggest competitor to Bannerlord." And first I was like, what game could be a competitor to Bannerlord? What game? And seems like we have it, everyone. Now, he sent me the link to the trailer and to the forums, and this is of Kings and Men. And from what I have seen, this is probably the closest thing you'll come to a Mount & Blade Bannerlord kind of equivalent game, and I am really looking forward to this one, and I think it'll be really interesting to see Mount & Blade Bannerlord and this game side by side, seeing what differences there are and what the similarities are. So what I've decided to do is I think I'm going to follow both games, because this game has really caught my interest. It's the medieval RPG, sort of like Mount & Blade kind of esque thing, and in fact the studio that are creating it, I think their name is the Donkey Crew, or at least that's what they call themselves. They were the creators of the CRPG mod for Mount & Blade Warband. Now, if any of you don't know that mod, it is a really, really good in-depth mod. It is kind of the ancestor or the grandfather of the Mercenaries mod, which is now where you have, on the internet, you have kind of your weapons and stuff, your upgrades and stuff from the internet, and you choose what weapons you have, your skills you upgrade on the web page, and then it updates it in-game and you fight battles in-game. And that CRPG was kind of the first thing of that, and that was a really great mod and it's extremely popular. So the team that made that went on to make their own standalone game. This is of Kings and Men, and I'm going to go through the trailer. I'm going to see what this is like. I'm going to talk a bit about it. I kind of just skimmed through it when it was sent to me and I had a look through the forums, because I've not seen anything of this game before, because it's a really small game studio and I really just hadn't seen anything of it, so I was really interested to see what this game could become. So let's get into it. This is of Kings and Men. Right, so we're up on the trailer on YouTube now, and let's just get right in there. Let us see what is going on in this game. So yeah, the Donkey Crew are the developers, and look at this. Look how amazing that looks, and from what I've seen, they are such a small company. They have about 14 guys, and they're able to create things like that. Look at the graphics, look at the fidelity of it, look at the landscapes. I mean, even if this is just kind of like a single player area or something, but you can see the landscapes, or it might even be some sort of multiplayer thing where you can go off into the valleys. And it does say this is in-engine footage, so it's going to look very similar to this. And from what it looks like actual gameplay, just with no HUD or anything. So let's carry on with the game. Of Kings and Men. Explore a vast world. So it seems like it is a big open world. It seems like it's going to be a sort of open world game. Right, so from what I've just seen here, this looks a lot like, if any of you have played Life is Feudal, I've done a couple of videos on Life is Feudal. I've even done a Still Worth It video on Life is Feudal, which is my kind of review series. And this is kind of the sort of thing they have on here. You have chop down trees and stuff like this, and you can chop down whole areas, you can build stuff. But what it looks like, this is commanding AI. A bit like when you go into a battle in Mount & Blade, and yes, I'm going to be comparing the two games because they're very similar time eras, and they look like very similar games. And it's kind of when you go into a battle and you command your troops, but this looks like it's going to be in-game when you're building your castles, building your villages, and building up your towns. And going through these forests, it said ride with your friends. That means there's multiplayer in this. So, from what we've seen so far, there is multiplayer in this game. Hopefully it will be a big scale multiplayer if it is a vast world like they said earlier. And just riding through the forest there. Look at the graphics on that. Just checking it was 1080p. Look at that. Just riding through the sun rays coming down. Even the flowers, just down to the small details on the leaves are just amazing. This game is looking incredible. And I don't know about you guys, but there is just something about having some people chopping down wood, some people building houses, some people going off to war, having an army patrolling around, that really excites me. And I was looking on the forums and it does say it's a persistent world. So maybe this is going to be kind of like a standalone PW game mixed in with a bit of campaign overworld maps. I have no idea. I can't wait to find out more about this. And I hope you guys are just as excited as I am right now. And if you are, hopefully you'll stay tuned for more of this stuff. Build your settlement. Oh my word. This is going to be, looks like it's going to be on a really large scale kind of thing. Maybe this is going to take a long time to get to this kind of area. Or maybe it's going to take no time at all. We have no idea. But from what we saw earlier with the commanding people to chop down trees, it's either going to be a third person in game where you're going around, you're building your villages, you're finding somewhere to settle and you're building up there, building your empire. Or there might be, from this cinematic camera, this is either just a cinematic camera or there could be some top-down commanding of your guys, a bit like a game such as Banished or something like that. And of course, there's going to be a lot of wars. Just the sheer idea of building your own towns, your own cities, is just really cool to me. How you can have different cities and towns and then other people coming to attack them in third person in the actual game. Because Mount & Blade, obviously, you have the overworld map, but you don't really have much civilization, much economy while you're down in the game. That's all done zoomed out. So this will be really interesting to see. And this has just come up on the trailer, going out into this overworld map. So this reminds me a lot of the Mount & Blade campaign. And I'm not sure how similar it's going to be. Maybe it's going to be really similar. But maybe these red circles here is basically where the enemies are coming from. And then when you capture them, they turn green. And you have your own territory. Maybe you can only collect resources from your territory. I have no idea. Maybe you can make allies with other people so you can get their resources. I really have no idea. I've literally just picked up this trailer here and had a quick look at it and then made a video. I'm going to do a lot more research and get as much news to you about this game as possible, because I think this is a game that really needs to be promoted. So we have here some kind of like wooden sort of chess models actually, where I guess these represent your armies. And they look really nice. And if we just go back here, what you'll see is, what I've just noticed, is we have obviously the standard troops. So these look like the cavalry, infantry, shield and swordsman here, more cavalry over here. But what's this guy? Is this the king? Is this the commander? He seems to have some sort of maybe like a scroll, or that might just be his hands holding something. But he seems to have a crown, and he's a lot bigger than the others. So I think this is going to add in some sort of kings coming into battle, maybe better for morale, or they come in and they can actually fight themselves as kings used to do sometimes in those days. Obviously, there are a few exceptions. So let's carry on. Fight in coordinated battles. Nighttime battles. Spooky in the forest. This looks very... Oh my word. So just from this, you can see the dynamics of the dark shining and the moonlight shining off their helmets just looks amazing. They've all got individual armor and they're all creeping through the forest. Now, I guess from this we can take that maybe there'll be ambushes in this game. Maybe you can ambush people hiding in the forest, going out, a bit like you can in the Total War games. Or maybe there's some sort of hiding your troops, like such as the Total War games, where you can have your main army and then maybe a troop around the side. Alright, so let's carry on with this. Here we have the people defending the castle. We have some archers with more than 200 players. Now notice it says players there. So that obviously indicates a multiplayer. I'm not completely sure if they're going to be showing if this is single player footage or multiplayer, or maybe it's like co-op for both. I absolutely have no idea. But with more than 200 players, it's just screaming Mount & Blade at me. But having a new change made by a new developer can bring in new things to the game. And it can have things that maybe Bannerlord might not, and maybe add things to the experience. Look at that. the torches lighting up the trees. How cool would that be? And it looks, if we go back here, it looks as if these this troop here are in some sort of crouched, well not crouched, but sneak stance. He's got a shield held up, he's sneaking through the long grass, and that probably indicates some sort of ambushing, hiding mechanic that we might find in the game. But that is looking really cool. Imagine just seeing waves of people coming out of the forest as you're defending on your castle walls, shaking in your boots as a massive army comes out to greet you in the field for the battle to commence. Look at that. So that is of Kings and Men. So if any of you are like me, I'm completely astounded. I can't believe I'd never heard of this game before. Thank you so much to Dave for giving me a heads up about this game, because I am really excited about this one. And obviously, if you enjoyed this of Kings and Men trailer, it's not really an in-depth analysis, just kind of a light analysis. If you enjoyed that, remember to subscribe to the channel for more content on this game, because I'm going to be following this game very, very closely. So if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like. If you didn't, remember to dislike the video. And subscribe to the channel for more medieval goodness. But until then, I will see you in the next one.